Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. It's a weekend edition kit in 1/72 scale, and aircraft should be familiar to all of you. It's a Spitfire Mk.IXc, and we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. This is the final shape of this kit, and what's even more interesting is that here we get, I would say, the new boxing of the weekend edition, so it means we will get more markings in the box, but we still get only the plastic and decals and assembly manual, no other bonuses whatsoever. So in case you would like to have masks, you will have to get them separately for extra price. So first of all, we have quite standard packaging for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand, the really beautiful box art here, and I think it should be also available as a separate poster. So if you would like to have it on your wall framed, definitely go for it, because these posters from Eduard are really nice stuff to collect. And on the side here you'll find also information about the manufacturer. We have also the kit number is 7466, and on the opposite side you can see 4 marking options. As I said before, they are, I would say, standard for Royal Air Forces, nothing unusual. And this is a top opening box. Here is what we have inside. As you can see, we have I would say plenty of space, and each of these frames are packed into separate plastic bags, so we will be opening them one by one and checking what is actually supplied here. We are going to start with a clear frame because it was on the top, so just give me a second and we will talk in detail what is actually here. So first of all, transparent sprue, and as you can see here, we have the canopy parts, and this is a 1/72 scale kit. So here you can see comparison with my fingertip. These are really tiny parts, and that's why I was mentioning actually the masks templates, or at least masks releases, because it is necessary, in my opinion, in this scale, in case you would like to have a really nice paint, I would say paint work on your aircraft, because otherwise it might be a bit tricky to get the exact stickers for these small areas, and I would rather invest this time into something different, maybe into camouflage, than just cutting stickers for these parts. Obviously you can also open the canopy here. We have the necessary parts, and that's appreciated feature in such small size, so really good. And for the open and closed versions, you actually have to use the different parts, and one piece closed canopy is actually a good design solution, because it will preserve you from any possible gaps and other problems in such visible area of your model. Now what I'm doing is opening another plastic bag, so just give me a second. Here we have the pair of gray plastic sprues, and they are dedicated to mix of various parts, so we will see them in a moment. So first of all, here we start with this sprue. I will have to zoom out a bit so that you can see the whole frame. And here we have the cockpit parts and also external fuel tanks. Obviously you won't be able to use all of them, but it's really nice to have the choice out of the box, and you don't have to resort to any aftermarket options because you get them in the standard package. The same applies to the landing gear doors, so we have several options included. And also, as far as you can see, we have the exhaust stacks, we have some parts for air intakes on the wings, and some other minor elements which will be used here and there. Of course, you can upgrade some of this if you would like to. I would say the most obvious candidate is the cockpit. In case you would like to have more, then definitely go for it. But again, it will be a resin set, and it will be small scale resin set, so you should be ready for this. Next, we continue with another gray plastic sprue. So here we have the cockpit walls, we have parts for the main wheel wells, we have parts for landing gear wheels. As you can see, there are several versions. And for the landing gear wheels, I would recommend to get the brassing replacement set, because it is a bit more detailed and it offers more features out of the package. And of course, even in this small scale, it will be noticeable, especially considering the fact that you cannot assemble the aircraft with retracted landing gear, so you will have to build it with landing gear down. Next, we continue with the narrow plastic sprues. So here we have various parts for external features. So we have several types of the wingtips, we have the tail wings, we have the ailerons, and everything looks nice. In 1/72nd scale, I think there is nothing to complain about. And of course, all these spare parts or extra parts, they will be useful in case you are doing a lot of scratch building. Then definitely it's a good thing to have out of the box, especially in this quality. Next, we continue with the last gray plastic sprue. So here we have, I would say, the largest parts in this kit, because these are fuselage halves, wing panels, and also some of the external panels for the cowling here. So as you remember, cowling should be glued out of two halves. That's something what you will not be able to avoid. But overall, I like that here we have quite nice external features. I also like the fact that we can, I would say, replicate several types of the aircraft with these panels which are included here. I'm not sure if they will be used for the markings which we have out of the box, but it might be handy in case you would like to use for some aftermarket Mark V options. And here, if I flip it over, you can see that there are not that many features in the cockpit, because as you remember, a cockpit is assembled separately and then enclosed in between fuselage halves. Next, we continue with this plastic bag. As you can see here, we have decals. It's a resealable plastic bag, so it's quite easy and quick to open. And what we have here is the stencil sheet. Here it is. Let's close the lenses a bit, zoom in. So it's printed in Eduard, and I guess it means that the printing quality is really good. And next we continue with another bigger one. So here we have all the main symbols for several marking options, for 4 to be precise. And we also get some cockpit decals. Here we have the seat belts. Also we have the instrument panel dials, I suppose here, yeah. So quite a standard package for the cockpit, but it should be enough in case you don't want to invest into something extra. And I think seat belts in 1/72nd scale, they can be out of decals. That's not the scale where you can actually go for something extra, in my opinion. Next, we continue with assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of color printed large brochure. We have short history note on the first page, and then immediately we start with the parts map. Blue color means that these parts will not be used, and assembly process starts with the cockpit, with the pilot seat, as you can see. So it means you have to use the decals, and you assemble the cockpit. Here you have to decide whether you would like to have open or closed canopy, because it will define how you modify this fuselage halves. Next, we continue with the wing parts. So here you can also decide whether you would like to have external fuel tanks, because in this case you will have to drill out the parts in order to install the pylons for the fuel tanks. Here we continue with landing gear, propeller, and next, here we again choose between open or closed canopy. That's exactly what I was talking about. As you can see, one piece part for the canopy. Here we can see the fuel tanks choice. And next we have marking options. So these two are coming from 1944. We have also invasion stripes on them. Here we continue with 2 more aircraft from the same year. This one is quite interesting because it's with US stars, as you can see, and also this red nose accent looks really good and different from what we are used to see in Royal Air Force's markings. Here you can also notice the stencils application guide, so even in 1/72nd scale you have to do it. And overall this kit looks like a decent alternative for choice for modelers who would like to build a Spitfire in a small scale. Of course, I'll be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.